So just to go through you guys through the trades that have been happening recently on the Netherlands 25 and as well as your HK50. Beautiful stuff. Let me show you something. I just want to show you like how much you can make, like how much you can capitalize from the markets with just using this kind of simple model. Your simple kind of price action. Look at this. Oh man, as we know, the market moves in an impulse correction impulse cycle, pattern. We have this accumulation push high. We had this beautiful volume here. We pushed above, trading above. We kind of retested this previous big end, this previous continuation in a continuation style, whereby under 15, if I could go lower, you're gonna see it real quick. Let me just come here and show you. Nice, you're gonna see it real quick. On the 15, you could see the entry that I'm speaking about here. You could see the entry, and at peak you'd be running over, before the turnaround you'd be running over about 2 point something. At peak you could have went away with about 3%. Beautiful trade, understand? And the next trade I'm gonna show you, and you could see the nature of how price moves. That's the thing. Look at this. Your impulse, correction, impulse, taking out this area, correction, impulse, right? And when I go lower and when I go to the next trade, you're gonna see the very same thing. Look at this one. And this trade I took it, by the way, on my account. We had this piece of volume here, and this is the high of this accumulation. And guess what? We took it out, came back, tried to further form volume to push high. It was more of your fake sell-off. We pushed high and then we accumulated really well in a structured formation. Your beautiful 1, 2, 3 kind of continuation, and you took the risk into right about there, and boom, at peak you could have been running over about like 2 point something percent, depending on how your stops could have been placed, right? If you could have put them there, you could have walked out with about like 1%. And about, you could have been running over close to 3%, and then you perhaps log in about 1.3, just right below this high here. So that has been the idea, and that has been how consistent price gives. Look at this, same thing here, continuation, price distributes, beautiful PA, same thing as well with how this trade came into play. Look at this. Oh man, we said at this inflection, this became the continuation to further push high. What happened? We saw that we were failing to further get the push high, and guess what? Price accumulates but fails to further develop your nice beautiful continuation, and we trade below, and this now starts to become more of your area of relevance, whereby okay, in order for us to get the reversal 1, 2, 3, we have to get the what? We have to get the beautiful retrace in a manner of a correction, and this became the idea. And the beauty about this trade is how we rejected, more of your washout kind of candle here. I'm gonna show you right here. This washout candle, which it became more of your high test kind of candle here. Risk entry right there. We could have been out with about like 3%, before any sharp turnarounds. And then the next one, it's HK50. And HK50 has to be your beautiful kind of PA here. When you look at the HK50, I won't even look too much on it, but it's just mainly gonna be these 3 types of trades. And if you can go and start with this first one, you're gonna see, look at this. We said at the low, look, we come from this beautiful double bottom, and yes, we still within the whole kind of PA, and guess what? We got this aggressive push high. This became your nice continuation. There was a nice Yes, on the hourly there was a risk entry, but you could see there was a and there was an entry on the 15. If I could like show you, you're gonna see, you know. And the beauty about this one is how we got the internal structure here. You had your nice internal structure like that. It's either you could have taken it as a risk entry or right on the break of this thingy, right on the break of this continuation right here or about here. And your stops could have been placed just like that. And when you go on the hourly back again, you could see that, oh, you could have walked out with a nice beautiful 7% on this one, and then the next trade would have been this one. Look, I never mentioned like how, the positioning and everything, just to show you how much like it's so simple, as well as how much you need in terms of like understanding to capitalize from these trades. Look at this. We said from a no man's land. I mean, you could say that there was no area of relevance to put emphasis on, but you could see the confluences that align with this idea. Look at this. You got this push high, and this was your first, more like a continuation, pullback type of continuation. And guess what? We pushed high. And when I go on the 15, you're going to see it even much more precise. Let me remove all of this. You're going to see, look at this. We had this nice beautiful two touch there with a nice 1 2 3 finishing move, tapping into this low here. And guess what? We push high. We had an inflection there, not even an inflection, but you had more of your footprint there. And guess what? We further develop into this risk entry. Boom, at this high could have been a quick 3%. The next trade, same thing. What happens? The next trade, we even tap the back end of what? The back end of this previous low here, which gave you a nice beautiful double bottom, double top, I meant to say. And guess what happened? We furthermore tried to accumulate to further push high. We failed. Look at this. What did we do? We failed. What happened? We formed this beautiful 1 2 3, tapping into this inflection. This one could have been anticipated on the hourly. If I can remove a lot of these drawings and all of that, you're gonna see this, the risk entry way, the risk entry right here after these two beautiful doji candles here. That's a nice trade to look at. Could have been a quick 3.8%, which whereby in total you could have gotten about plus 13%. Understand? Just like that, your nice 13%. So yeah, man, that's just what I wanted to break down to you guys, just to show how simple profits could be extracted in the markets, just using this kind of simple system. Simple as it is, right? But you just need to understand your areas, your value areas, your knowing what is enough and all of that. Obviously I cannot go on the higher time frame and explain what makes this idea for long or for short make sense. But yeah, hope everybody understands me and hope you understand. So yeah, man.